have tried quite a few Windows laptops that label as for creator, but after a week using the GIGABYTE AERO X16, I truly thought that, yeah, Windows laptop can now compete with Mac in terms of creative work. Why do I say so? Because in the past, if you wanted something as thin and light as a Mac, yet still powerful, quiet, and has great battery life, there basically weren't any real full-fledged option on the Windows side. You always have to give up or compromise something like the heat, the battery life, or maybe the loud fan noise when doing heavy workloads. But this GIGABYTE AERO X16 manages to balance all those factors surprisingly well. Its display is also impressive as it comes with a 2.5K IPS panel with 165Hz of refresh rate. Overall, working on this laptop feels really smooth and relaxed. And in terms of creative performance, this is easily one of the best Windows laptops out there right now. That said, to be honest, when compared directly to a Mac, this laptop still falls short in creative workloads. But comparing with a Mac is not the goal of today's videos. I'm not here to comparing them head to head. Of course, Windows laptops also have their own advantages. And especially that the AERO X16 now have a very reasonable price. As for right now, you can find it on Amazon for as low as $1,100 for the RTX 5060 plus 16 gigs of RAM version. And that's a steal. I only brought up the Mac to give you the frame of preference, not to compare which one is better. Okay, now let's get into more detail and let's start with the performance. This Aero laptop uses the AMD Ryzen AI 7 350 CPU paired with the RTX 5060 at 85 watt of TGP, so it will be about 10% less in terms of performance than the 115 watt version. Of course, if you compare this to a gaming laptop that purely focuses on raw spec, its performance isn't as high. Both FPS and render time are behind the models like the Tough Gaming F16. We also did a full review on the Tough Gaming F16, you can check it out here. It's a great and powerful gaming laptop with all the hardware tuned to its full potential. But it has to compromise with noise and heat. A lot of heat. Now, back to our Aero X16. The great thing about using less power-hungry component is that you get much lower fan noise, less power draw, and cooler temperature. So the question is, would you want to trade up to about 15% less performance in-game for a much better user experience? Well, that's up to you. All I want is to highlight how quiet this machine is. Its maximum fan noise feels similar to balance mode on most gaming laptops, which is roughly just a bit louder than an air conditioner. While gaming, if you turn your speaker up just slightly, you won't hear the fan at all. It's rare to find a laptop this quiet, especially one this thin, and that is our under heavy workloads or gaming. For casual work like photo or video editing or like office tasks, it's completely silent. And as I mentioned earlier, since both CPU and GPU are power efficient, the system runs very cool at just above 70 degrees Celsius under load. Now, about the design, it's very thin, just under 2 cm of thickness. GIGABYTE gives this laptop 4 air vents for better airflow, and because it's so thin and light, a 16-inch laptop that under 2 kilograms is truly impressive. One more thing that many of you usually overlook is the weight of the charger. This laptop charger is only 150 watt, which results in a compact and light overall weight. Together, the charger and the laptop weigh just around 2.3 kilograms, which is very portable. As for build quality, I would say that it's decent by Windows laptop standard. That means it's still not at the same level as a MacBook because as the frame right here is still plastic. not aluminum. And you can still notice some flex level when pressing hard enough. The hinge will wobble a bit, and the overall structure isn't fully seamless. It's more like a multiple pieces fitted together, kinda like a Lego style. It doesn't give a complete feel like unibody aluminum, which can be seen in many true high-end gaming laptops. However, the surface finishing is quite done nicely. Both the lid and bottom use anodized aluminum with a matte texture. The plastic frame also has a matte coating. The upside of using plastic is that it can prevent heat transmission, so it will stay cool to the touch, especially around the WASD area, which stay noticeably cooler during gaming. One small thing to note is that since the surface is matte and slightly rough, not kinda like the matte and polished finishing that you can find on MacBook, so it will attract dirt over time, so you want to clean it regularly. About the displays, this is one of my favorite parts. The bezels are razor thin, giving a 92% screen to body ratio. So at first, I have to even double check whether it is a 15-inch laptop or not, because size-wise, it kinda is. I love this kind of design because it's sleek, it's compact, and it doesn't look like a gaming laptop at all, which gives you a creative vibe right away. The display quality is good. 100% coverage of sRGB with Pantone validated, and the Delta E of just 1.3. It's also a 2.5K resolution panel, so everything looks sharp and color accurate, which is perfect for movies, for games, for photo editing, or typewriting. And with a 165Hz of refresh rate on this screen, it's nearly perfect for every esports title. This is one of the best panels in this price range. And to give you a better example, the TUF Gaming X16, which is priced at around $1,500 US, is only equipped with a Full HD monitor. Just one little note is that if you're super picky about color, well then the panel here is just only cover about 75% of DCI-P3 color gamut. So it will not having that vibrancy and depth. Talking about the battery, it had a 74 watt-hour battery, and in ThinkView standard battery test, it lasted 6 hours and 15 minutes, which is excellent for a high-performance laptop, and currently that's the highest number we get from any gaming laptop. Now, talking about the speaker, it has a very clear and bright treble, and the volume is also very loud too. Though the bass is lacking, so I think that it's best suited for slow or acoustic track rather than EDM or movies. The keyboard is actually good on this laptop. It has a 1.70mm key travel. Typing on this gives you a very soft and responsive feel. The keyboard is wide with a slightly curved keycaps for a natural typing experience. Gigabyte even removed the numpad, make the layout even more balanced and creator-friendly. Typing on this laptop feels very comfortable. You don't have to slightly shift it left awkwardly like many laptops that included the numpad. Connectivity speaking, it has 3 USB-A, 1 HDMI, 1 LAN port, 1 power jack, 1 headphone jack, and 1 USB-C. So basically, it's very generous in terms of connectivity, but it's a bit of disappointing that there's only 1 USB-C port and all the ports are placed quite close to the user hand area, which can be quite inconvenient when you have multiple cable plugged in. For security, it features an infrared webcam with Windows Hello, which unlocks quickly and accurately. Everything about the Aero X16 this year really made me think that Windows laptop has finally leveled up. From both working or creative work, this machine can handle without any much of compromise. Gigabyte seemed to nail the balance this time. The GPU sit at 85 watts, which is enough power, not overkill. The Ryzen AI 7 350 CPU is very efficient, yet still very capable. And the laptop runs very cool and quiet too, and a thinner, cleaner, and just feel more refined design. But what surprised me most is the price. Gigabyte is not overestimate themselves like other laptop maker. For $1,100 US and for the whole spec like this one, this is really the top pick in this price range. But what do you think about the GIGABYTE AERO X16? Is this the steal deal for you? Let me know in the comment section down below, okay? And thanks for watching. This is NK from ThinkView, and see you guys next time.